Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to give you guys my top 5 all-time comic book characters. This is in everything. Movies, comic books, all that stuff. These are the 5 comic book characters I love and that are my favorite. So I'm going to get into this list. Make sure you leave me below in the comments below your top 5 comic book characters of all time in every sort of medium. Like, I'm talking comic books, games, everything. Everything. Let me know in the comments below because we all have our favorites. So I'm going to give you my top 5. Like, subscribe. Let's get into this video. Number 5, Superman. I mean, Superman is great. As a kid, I grew up loving Superman. You had the Christopher Reeve Supermans growing up. You had the comics. You had the animation shows. You had games. There was just so much about Superman that I loved. I thought he was really, really cool because he's like that symbol of hope. And he's like the ultimate being that he's just badass. When shit goes south, Superman arrives, you know everything's going to be okay. I really like the Superman character and how he's from a different planet and he's struggling to fit in with humanity. And I always liked Superman. And I think being older now, I'm sort of more understanding of what Superman is as a character and how he actually is really struggling with life on Earth because he's not an Earthling. He's not from Earth. He's not a human. He's a Kryptonian. He's an alien. And I think I really like that storyline of him struggling to try and fit in with society because they see him as a threat because he's like a godlike being. And I like that about the character. And I think he's got cool powers. There's some cool versions of Superman. And I think like movies like Death of Superman, like Man of Steel and stuff like that, just elevate this character even more. And then you go through the comic books and there are some great storylines involving Superman in the comic books. And I actually really, really like Superman. And he's number 5 for me. Number 4, Dr. Doom. I love Dr. Doom as a villain and as a character. I think there is so many layers to Dr. Doom that really showcase how good of a character he is. Not to mention some freaking really cool powers. And I think the dynamic he has with the Fantastic Four is great in the films and also in the comic books and stuff like that. He's also a villain that is around all the time fighting different characters as well. And I think what makes Dr. Doom so cool to me is the way he looks, for one. He just looks really, really cool. He's got cool powers, but the character itself, the pain and the struggles he's gone through to get to where he is and how he wants to take himself to the next level. I think he has great motivations throughout all the genres of comic books and movies and that he has, and I just think he's just one of those cool characters. So number 4, Dr. Doom. Number 3, Batman. Ah, gosh, I love Batman. I love Batman. I mean, Batman's one of those characters that I've grown up with my whole entire life. Like, he is a staple. He's just great. He has great movies, great comic books, great story, great character. Everything about Batman is great. Like, the guy that is a billionaire that fights crime to save Gotham, to a father-like figure to Robins, Nightwings, Batgirls, Batwomans, all these other characters, makes him great. I really like Batman. The Dark Knight, Nolan did a great job showcasing this character. There is just some great things about Batman that you like. And I think what makes Batman so, like, great and so good that most people like Batman is because he's relatable, because he's realistic. He's probably the most realistic, like, with Captain America and stuff. Like, he's the most realistic comic book hero that you could see happening in real life out there. And he's got some cool gadgets. He's fought some great villains. He's got a great villain base like that you can choose from that he fights and stuff. And Batman is just really, really cool. And we all really like him. And he's a complex character. He's gone through pain and hurt. And he comes out the other side. I mean, he's just a great hero. So I'm going to give number 3 to Batman. Number 2, Magneto. I love Magneto. From his backstory to where he is, it's just, his backstory is so painful, but it shapes this character into what he is going to be in the future. Like, the pain of seeing his mother, the things that happened in the concentration camps back then, really shaped Magneto as a character. His views, the dynamic with Charles, how he sees the humans are never going to accept them. They're never going to accept them unless we take over and we don't become the ones hunted. We hunt them. Like, Magneto has some great, like, views that you understand, that you see the motive behind, that elevate this character even higher. Not to mention, he's cool, and he's got the greatest and the fucking sickest freaking powers in all of X-Men. Like, this guy can, like, literally lift the ground up. Like, because there's metal everywhere. Like, he's just so, such a cool character. He has great relationships with these other characters. He's a badass. He has great views, great motives, and he is just a fantastic character. Number 2, Magneto. Number 1, SpiderMan. SpiderMan is the greatest comic book character to me. He's the one I grew up with, the one that I really, like, resonate and, like, love the most. I love his smart ass comments, the way that he flies through. I remember watching the animated shows and stuff like that, and how he throws these little jokes, little like shades at the villains when he's fighting them is great. He's done it in the game, he's done it in movies, he's done it in everything. Next to Deadpool, he's the next character that likes to throw out jokes and is fun and entertaining. And I think that's what makes Spider-Man so much cooler to me, is he's got this smart ass side, but he's also got the serious side. When shit needs to get done, he gets it done, but he's also a smart ass, and that's great, and that's what I want from a superhero. Yes, I like serious superhero things, but sometimes I just like them to be a bit of, like, human, bit like us, like sarcastic when we're fighting and stuff like that. It's great. There's some great comic book, versions of Spider-Man. Great stories. Movies are great. The games are great. Everything about Spider-Man is great, and he's really, really cool. And I think him being a teenager and growing up, I think we can all resonate with being that sort of person moving forward, having the responsibility that you now have to be better. You have to use this in a better way. There's so many things. Spider-Man is a complex character. He's not just a straightforward person. He is complex, but he also has that childish side that we all have as an adult and a teenager that I really, really like. And Spider-Man to me is number 1. So there you have it. That is my top 5 comic book characters of all time that I like. Let me know in the comments, what are yours? I'm interested to hear what other people have, because I want to see if people have the generic ones, or if some people actually have different ones that, like, you wouldn't expect them to have, because everyone's going to like different characters. Like, I don't care if you just like them because they're cool and they have cool powers and that. That's cool. If you like that, then that's fine. So let me know in the comments below. Give us a like, subscribe, and see you guys next video. Peace out.